Hey, this is Mark with the Practical Stills. Time to open another bottle. This one's going to be pretty special. This is a Michter's 10-year-old single barrel straight Kentucky straight rye whiskey. This is one of those bottles that's kind of hard to get, and it ought to be mostly right up my alley. Michter's in general too. So Michter's still goes in the barrel super low on the entry proof at 103, where the maximum could be 125, and most other distilleries are at 125. They age barrels a really long time before they put whiskey in them to cure them, so 18 to 48 months according to their website. They also, as best I can tell, they toast all the barrels first, then char them. So that's different than a toasted barrel finish. That's the process before they just char the barrel. They toast it first, so that's different. About the only thing that doesn't line up with my favorite stuff is that they chill filter everything. But even that, if you read the way they talk about it, they do that separate for different whiskeys. They've got different processes to chill filter the whiskey depending on the whiskey itself. And they do that partially because the other option is to use some more harsh charcoal or other harsh filtering. So, maybe non-chill filter in and of itself better. So, it's all interesting to me. I don't dislike Michter's whiskey. I've had quite a few over and over again. I like them just fine. They're clearly good whiskeys and I enjoy them, but I've just never been blown away by any of them. But this is the first time I've stepped up to this one, and I actually bought this bottle at what I think is retail, around $129, about a little over a year ago. This is the 2019 release. At this point, the 2020 is already out. It'll be only one release this year. They don't have a lot of this whiskey left, so a lot of things going for it, and not to mention just the bottle. Of all the bottles on the shelf, and I even cleaned off some space to make this special today, but of all these bottles on the shelf, this one's really pretty. I guess the second to last thing I don't like is, how I feel about bottle wax. I just don't like it. So I'm pretty excited to try this. I've hung on to it for a while, but, special occasions, as in a special occasion, I want to taste the whiskey. We're going to open up and find out. So I'm going to pull a little tag off. I'm going to pause just in case I screw the opening up with all this wax, so I have a chance to cut back in if I need to. But let's see if we can get it open in one shot. Yeah, it looked like it was going to be a tough one. And this is why one of the reasons I just hate when they put wax on the bottle. Okay, back sometime later. After getting a knife involved. Okay, well, I have read a lot of stories where these corks break about as often as wild turkey corks, so I'm pretty happy that one came out straight up. But again, hate bottle wax. Wish they wouldn't do it. Oh dear, that smells wonderful. So mash bill, undetermined. I could not figure it out. It does clearly state that it leans way more towards a Kentucky style of rye, which is lots of corn and some malted barley. So I'm going to guess it's closer to the minimum 51% than not. It smells that way. I don't know that I'd nose that as a rye versus just another bourbon. It's like a lovely color. Let's do the stats too. So we talked about the mash bill, but proof is 92.8 proof. Yeah. Let's see. It's just toffee or something. It's lovely. Yeah. That's quite good. And the last Michter's I had was their barrel proof rye. And it's okay, it's a little thin. This is very rich. And the finish just keeps going. Oranges and, like I said, toffee. It's even a little floral. Yeah, the finish just keeps going. So, MSRP around 130. That's a lot of money for a 10-year-old whiskey, even from a vaunted producer. And again, they don't distill this whiskey. It'll be a few more years before we get Michter's distilled whiskey. This comes from an undisclosed Kentucky source. So why? Why so much money? Well, I don't know. I think it owes to the low barrel entry proof. That's important. If you're putting whiskey in the barrel at a lower proof, you're adding more water. And the good part of that is the water and the whiskey age together. The water takes different things out of the oak in the barrel than the alcohol does, and the resulting whiskey is believed to be richer. By that, the taste in this. So it's more expensive because for the same amount of distillate off the still, it takes more barrels. So more barrels, more space, more expense, more taxes, etc. Although I think the tax-wise, they do that at proof gallons at 100 proof. But anyway, it's more expensive. Maybe the selection of the barrels is more expensive at the cooperage. I don't know. But the other side of this is I've seen bottles of this going for as much as $400 on the secondary market. So somebody likes it. I like it. Would I buy it again? We'll see. Let me drink on it a bit. I don't know right off the bat because that was a lot of money to spend on a 10-year product. The nose is just amazing on this though. Anyway, so if I got to decide right now, buy this one if you can afford it and you find it. I mean, the legs on it just stick to the glass and don't go anywhere. It's just beautiful, even at a 90, what's that, 94? 92.8 proof. It sure is richer than that might expect. Yeah. A lot going on there. So I think the jury's still out. I already have one, so I don't have to decide whether or not to buy one. And maybe I'll get lucky and have to decide whether or not to buy another one. Right off the bat, is it worth the 130? I don't know. Let me think about what I might buy instead of it for a rye. Again, it doesn't taste super rye. It tastes almost like a high rye bourbon versus a rye whiskey itself. So there's that to discuss to think about. But it is very good. So we'll live with it for a while. We'll go back to the bottle down the road. We'll make a determination on whether or not I'd spend this money again. If you've had Michter's 10-year-old single barrel rye, or maybe even the bourbon, I haven't had the 10-year-old bourbon. I may try and trade some samples and get me some of that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Also subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, let us know how we're doing. I know this one ran a little bit long, but I've been waiting a long time to open this bottle, so I wanted to sit on it a little more and enjoy it. Let me know if you've had it. Is it worth the money you paid for it, and what'd you pay for it? So that's about it. Enjoy that one. Cheers. All right, so normally things end right then, but I've been sitting here sipping on it for a bit, kind of rewatching what I just recorded. And while I did, the finish just built and hung around and hung around. And I sipped a little more. So I didn't want to wait till we go back to the bottle and this is really good. As it settled just a little bit air on it, the spicy rye notes started to come out more. The finish lasts forever. It is just thick and viscous and delicious. I mean, I can't even begin to, right now I've got this almost, not a menthol, but I don't know, like a eucalyptus thing going on. It's just really good. So anyway, I didn't want to wait. I wanted to come back and tell you that in case in between now and the back to the bottle video, you get a chance to buy that or taste it or bum a sample off a friend. So do that. Anyway, pretty good now. Even better than before. I liked it right out of the bottle, but that's really good. I can't wait for some air to get on it. Cheers.